Welcome to Bedtime Horror, your portal to scary stories. You know how rumors spread in a small town, especially the creepy ones? Well, in our town, there was this forest, a place whispered about in hushed tones, like it held some dark secret. They said there was a creature lurking there, something that hunted people, something that had taken a life once. I couldn't resist. I had to investigate. One evening, I found myself standing at the forest's edge, the dense trees casting eerie shadows. The wind rustled the leaves like it was carrying secrets, and a chill ran down my spine. I stepped into that forest, each footfall echoing in the silence. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. As the daylight faded, the forest transformed. The trees seemed to close in on me, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The darkness whispered promises of the unknown, but fear danced on the edges of my mind. I set up a small camp, my flashlight my only ally against the encroaching shadows. The night was alive with noises, the rustling of unseen creatures, the distant hoot of an owl. My heart raced as I stared into the blackness beyond the fire's glow. Every snap of a twig sent my pulse skyrocketing, and my imagination conjured shapes in the darkness. I couldn't help but wonder if the rumors were true. Sleep was elusive, my ears attuned to every sound. At some point, I must have dozed off, because I was jolted awake by a blood-curdling scream. It sliced through the night, freezing my blood. I fumbled for my flashlight, its beam cutting through the inky darkness. My heart pounded as I followed the sound, each step taking me deeper into the unknown. My mind conjured images of the creature, a twisted amalgamation of nightmares. The trees seemed to close in, and I stumbled over roots and undergrowth. Fear gnawed at me, but curiosity pushed me forward. And then, there it was, a shadowy figure moving through the trees. My breath caught, my fingers trembling on the flashlight. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but something rooted me to the spot. The figure moved closer, its shape becoming clearer. In the dim light, I saw it, a pair of glowing eyes, fierce and predatory. Fear and fascination warred within me as I stood there, face to face with the unknown. The creature's breath seemed to echo in the silence, and my mind raced, trying to make sense of it all. I took a step back, my heart thundering in my chest. The creature's eyes followed my every move, and then it lunged. Instinct took over, and I turned and ran, branches scratching at my skin, my heart pounding like a drum. The forest became a blur of shadows as I sprinted, fear propelling me forward. I ran as if the very hounds of hell were at my heels. The branches tore at my clothes, and the undergrowth seemed determined to trip me up. Panic coursed through my veins, driving me deeper into the forest, away from those glowing eyes that had locked onto me. The sound of my own rapid breath filled the air, each gasp a stark reminder of my vulnerability. The forest seemed to close in, as if it was conspiring against me. I stumbled and fell, my hands and knees scraped by the unforgiving ground. Adrenaline masked the pain, urging me to my feet. I glanced over my shoulder, half expecting the creature to be right behind me, its gnashing jaws inches away. But all I saw were the trees, silent sentinels watching my mad flight. My legs ached, and my lungs burned, but I didn't dare slow down. Survival was my only goal. Time lost its meaning as I ran, my mind a whirlwind of terror and determination. It felt like an eternity before I stumbled upon a small clearing, a temporary sanctuary from the suffocating embrace of the trees. I collapsed onto the ground, chest heaving, muscles quaking. The forest was a symphony of night sounds, the distant howl of a wolf, the chirping of crickets, the rustling of leaves. I strained my ears, half expecting to hear the creature's approach. But all that greeted me was the haunting melody of the wild. As the night wore on, exhaustion claimed me, and I found myself drifting into a restless slumber. Dreams twisted with nightmares, and I woke with a start, disoriented and disheveled. The morning sun was a welcome sight, its gentle rays casting aside the lingering shadows. I retraced my steps, cautiously making my way back to my campsite. The remnants of the fire smoldered, a stark contrast to the blazing fear that had ignited within me. It was there, in the light of day, that the truth began to take shape. The creature with the glowing eyes, the thing that had haunted my thoughts, was just a figment of my imagination. As the realization settled in, embarrassment and relief washed over me. The forest, though mysterious and imposing, held no malevolent creature. It was a place of its own, teeming with life and stories, but not the kind of creature that hunted humans. I returned home, carrying with me a newfound respect for the power of fear and the stories we create. The forest hadn't changed, but my perspective had shifted. The unknown had spurred me into a frenzy, but in the end, it was nothing more than a dangerous bear, a guardian of its territory, not a monster to be feared. And so, I walked away from the forest, humbled by the experience and the realization that sometimes, the true terror lies within our own minds. The stories we tell ourselves can be scarier than any creature lurking in the shadows. But one thing was certain, that forest would forever remain a part of my memories, a reminder of the night I faced my own fears and emerged stronger for it. So, Jake and I decided to go on this crazy adventure into the thick woods. You know, the kind that's always got those mysterious vibes, like it's hiding some juicy secrets. We packed up our stuff, threw on our backpacks, and ventured into the wild, ready to see what kind of craziness the forest had in store for us. Day one was like stepping into a whole new world. Huge trees everywhere, blocking most of the sunlight and giving the ground this cool, dappled effect. Our footsteps were like whispers, blending in with the rustling leaves and chirping birds. The woods felt alive, like it was sharing its secrets with us, one step at a time. When night rolled in, we set up camp around a crackling fire. Man, the night sounds were like a free ticket to the creepiest orchestra ever. Tree shadows danced like they had their own moves to show off, and the stars above looked like they were showing off their bling. We sat around that fire, spinning stories like we were part of the woods ourselves. Next day, things got even wilder. We ventured deeper, feeling like some invisible force was pulling us forward. And then, boom, we stumbled upon this old bunker, almost hidden in the trees. Jake and I exchanged this look, like, hold up, we're onto something here. We checked out the bunker's walls covered in these ancient symbols. I ran my fingers over them, like maybe they'd tell us a tale or something. But the real jackpot was this hidden panel with a rough map. Lines and scribbles all over, promising us some real treasure hunt vibes. We must have spent hours huddled over that map, tracing our fingers along the lines like they were magic paths. The woods around us seemed to be holding its breath, like it was just as excited about our adventure. Each twist and turn on that map felt like it was daring us to unlock some hidden truth. Nighttime came back, and our campfire was like the VIP seat to the weirdest concert. Bugs and critters were jamming away, and we sat there, sharing stories, laughing, and just soaking in the wild energy. Sleep was tough to come by, with all those crazy sounds filling the air. But with sunrise, we were back on our feet, map in hand, ready to dive deeper into the forest's secrets. Following those map cues felt like some ancient guide was leading us through nature's maze. And then, right there among the towering trees, we found it, the entrance to the bunker. It was like stumbling upon a forgotten chapter of history, just waiting for us to open it up. We stood there, excited and a bit scared, like we were on the edge of something big. With a deep breath, we pushed open the bunker's door, revealing the mysteries inside. The air smelled like stories from ages ago, and symbols on the walls whispered tales of times long past. Our fingers traced the lines, like by touch we could connect with the past itself. And the woods, they watched us, like they knew we were uncovering their ancient tales. As daylight faded, we ventured deeper into the bunker, our flashlights cutting through the shadows. And then, out of nowhere, footsteps echoed through the chambers. We bolted outside, hearts pounding, searching for whoever was crashing our party. Gunshots shattered the night, and fear surged through us like a shockwave. Our adventure turned into a wild run for our lives. Fear drove us forward, and the woods that used to be so inviting turned into a crazy maze of panic. We sprinted like our lives depended on it, following a path that seemed like our only lifeline. Hours passed in a blur as we followed that path, ignoring the exhaustion gnawing at us. And then, out of the darkness, a road appeared. A farmer's friendly face greeted us, offering a safe haven from the wood's enigma. Our adventure had taken us from the heart of the forest to the safety of civilization, turning us into our own kind of storytellers. The village before us felt like a sanctuary, a place to catch our breath after dancing with the wild.